So in this video, I wanted to spend some time talking about this pen. It's the Oto CR01, and it's a capped rollerball. It's all metal, sells for about $20, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on where you're buying it from. I have it in the all black colorway. It's also sold in a camouflage, which I haven't seen in person, but I have seen online. And I'm not really sure when this one was released, but it came on my radar maybe a few months ago, so I picked one up. I do like Oto's products, and this is the CR01, which is, I think, Ceramic Roller 01. And I really do like the ceramic rollerball refill that Oto makes, and they have made for a long time. It used to be in pens like the Oto Dude, which I'm not really sure they still make. They've gotten hard to find. So anyway, I picked this one up largely on the strength of that ceramic rollerball refill. This is the packaging, as you could probably tell, and it's just very simple. Details about the pen. The model is a CR01. I bought it in the 0.5 millimeter, and the colorway is that MBK or matte black. There's no pricing on this. Usually you would see the pricing in Japanese yen, but that's not available. So here's the pen itself. They call it matte black. It's like matte-ish. You know what I mean? It's like has a little bit more gloss to it than I would expect, but yeah, it's a matte black pen. It says CR01, and that's sort of kind of like dated type of font there. It looks like font on a submarine movie or something like that. So that's a little strange, but okay. Or maybe like a Nerf gun would have a font like this, but okay. Very little other branding there, just Oto and then Japan. The rest of the pen, it's a pretty heavy duty metal clip. It's pretty nice. And just a smooth black cigar shaped pen. It's pretty nondescript, honestly. Rounded edge, rounded back, rounded top, and pretty pronounced clips. You have room for your jeans or something a little bit thicker there. It's a good clip, no problems there. Opening the pen up, I can say it's definitely stiff to open, and it's a little bit hard to tell why, but it's a stiff mechanism. Part of that, I'm sure, is because this is rubberized, and that creates some friction as you're pulling this off. You're pulling off against the rubber. I'm not really sure if there's a mechanism in here as well holding it on. I don't think so. I think it's just the friction of this metal on this rubber. That's why they don't really have a good click until the very end. And the friction is hitting here, and I think that's just where you're getting the rubber. And then eventually you get the click, but I think the difficulty pulling this off is from the rubber, so I don't really think that's going to get better with time. Inside, we can see that rubberized grip section, and then some step downs to your writing tip, and there's that ceramic rollerball refill, and good width on this pen. It's a little bit on the wider side. It's not like has a, you know, it's a definitely rubberized grip. It doesn't have the give of like an Alpha Gel or one of those grippy and soft pens. It's grippy but not soft, and it's a relatively short writing section. You only have, you know, these are 1/2-inch markings. You have just about 1 inch in that grip section, so it's fine, but there's a step up right here that I don't love. It's a little bit sharp. And yeah, it's a relatively short pen, uncapped. We have it at 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite 5 inches. Here's it next to, say, a Sharpie S-Gel, good deal larger. Sarasa Nano, some of the pens I've been using lately. Or pencil's not a great comparison, but there you have it. You can post it if you want some extra length. I haven't enjoyed using it posting, but the cap's not that heavy, so it's not terrible. It feels way too big for me. It doesn't really post that far. Opening the pen up, kind of spin it on that rubberized grip. See some brass in there. It's, has some weight to it. It's probably coming from that brass. Pretty nicely made. No real complaints. The front tip is all metal. Here's that Oto ceramic refill. Again, I really like these. I don't typically buy it in the 0.5. You could buy this in a 1.0 millimeter or a 0.7, both of which I prefer, but it's a it's a European style rollerball refill, and you can use this in some other pens. So if you like this refill, you don't have to buy this pen, but obviously it fits well. And being this sort of pen design, or the refill design rather, you can get other refills in here if you don't want to use the ceramic refill from Oto. I've always found this one to be a nice writer. Maybe not the most reliable refill, but better than most in the rollerball area. And this is the CR01 in 0.5 millimeter. You get a nice smoothness out of this and a good line integrity. It's definitely a high quality rollerball refill. I really, like I said, I've done many videos about rollerballs. I'd say earlier, maybe a couple years ago, I was much more focused on rollerballs than I have been lately. But at the time, I did come to a lot of conclusions, and some of them were that the Otos are very high quality refills, and I really like them as they get wider. This 0.5 millimeter is high quality, and it's not reason enough to buy this pen, because the refills are only selling for about $5-6. So you can get this refill and put it in a lot of different European style, or anything that takes a European style gel pen, and most things that take a like a Pilot G2 style refill would take these. But it does take some trial and error, because I guess I should have pointed this out before. It does take some trial and error because you have this sort of big step down here with this long extended front tip. And this is a no spring design. You can accommodate in a spring in some pens, but it's not the easiest refill to find a body for these days. So overall, it's a nice refill. Again, it's not reason enough to buy the pen, because you could put this refill in a lot of pens and the refill is readily available. The pen itself is like reasonably comfortable. I wish the writing section, this grip section, was a little bit longer, and this step up here I find to be rather annoying. I don't really like the looks of this front area. It looks overly ornate to me, but okay, that's just personal preference. The pen holding it, it's a little bit nondescript. It's fine. This front rubberized area, I don't tend to like on nicer rollerballs in this $20 plus range, because this thing kind of breaks down over time. And I feel like, you just really didn't get your money's worth the way you would have if the pen had been all metal, but that's just my personal preference. And it's grippy, and it's going to pick up stuff from your pocket. Obviously, it'll be capped in your pocket, so it's not a giant problem, but it tends to look dirty a lot. And similarly, the matte black pens tend to pick up, you can see there, little scratches and oil marks. So that's not really my favorite, but it's a capable pen. If you did like this one, I wouldn't really protest too much. Quickly, I wanted to compare it to this. This is the GS02. This is kind of the gel pen that Oto has been pushing lately, or touting lately, whatever you want to say. And you can see this one for me is a much cooler pen. It's got a more interesting design, has a taper where it goes from a skinny back to a thicker grip area. It looks way more modern and cool to me, and it uses a refill that I prefer, this needle tip. I mean, I wouldn't say I prefer it, but it's a more interesting refill, this needle tip gel refill. This pen for me, I guess we should get to one of the issues I have with the pen, which is, for me, it's highly reminiscent of this. This is the Tombow Zoom 505. And you can see the two are quite similar. This is also an all metal capped rollerball, smooth at the back. This one's flat on the front. Pretty similar shape and design. And the Zoom also has a rubberized grip section. This one is harder, but definitely rubberized. And it also has a big step down here. This one has a step here as well. These two pens are, for me, remarkably similar. As soon as I saw the CR01, I was a little bit confused, because it is so reminiscent of the Zoom 505. So if you have a Zoom 505, then I would say skip the Oto. The main difference, of course, is that the Zoom 505 only uses Tombow's weird little refills, which are very high quality, but they are hard to replace because you could only put Tombow refills in these pens. So you have to go and buy a specialized refill. I find that to be pretty annoying, and it has sort of turned me off of the Tombow rollerballs. Let's see if these are interchangeable. No, definitely not. No. So I'm guessing it's not the same pen, just, you know, slightly differently manufactured. It's just we're trying to solve something similar, which is an all metal rollerball in that, you know, $20 to $30 price range. Between the two, I prefer the style and feel of the Zoom 505, but I prefer the refill of the CR01. So you got to choose for yourself whether you prefer buying a pen for the better refill, in which case you probably want the Oto, or the better and more distinctive outside design, in which case I'd recommend the Tombow. So yeah, as for the CR01, you know, I would say it's fine. If you're interested in a new rollerball or a new gel pen or whatever from, I guess, let's just call it a new executive pen from Oto, I would definitely recommend the GS02. For me, it's a much cooler pen. But if you want something kind of gifty in a capped rollerball, the CR01 is, you could make a better choice than this, I would say, but there's a lot worse options as well. It's a, you know, it's an interesting enough pen, but I wouldn't recommend it. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.